Indigenous people deserve social justice.
Indigenous people deserve human rights.
Indigenous people deserve to strengthen their identity. Indigenous people deserve empowerment.
Philippines is the home of almost hundreds indigenous groups with diverse cultures, practices, and origins, distinguishing their identities, economics, spiritual, and social culture are connected to their social domains. However, the ownership of their domains is where somewhat regarded. People exploit their lands and violate their rights.
Sikan na ako no kay angay ka igtabang niyo kanami. No, silangan padayon ko pagtabang kanami. So kanami sa ini warad mo pian pagkupo na so trabaho na kung to yan og siwal kawawi nog mangon ta trabaho na kan nagat na marasi kano kag pangimatay kaya makalulo kay sa inong dati non dinhi na ito kani mo ito mayo.
In response of this, the Philippines established a system for the protection for the rights of indigenous people. And one of this system is the Republic Act number A371, or also known as Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act, or IPRA of 1997. The IPRA of 1997 was considered the most legal framework for the protection of indigenous people in the Philippines. This law promotes and recognizes the rights of indigenous cultural and communities or indigenous people with a view to preserve culture, tradition, and institution, ensuring the equal protection and non-discrimination of members. What are the IP rights includes? The rights includes, first, the rights of ancestral domains, including the rights of ownership, development, and natural resources. Second, the territories regulate entry of migrants, safe and clean air and water, and claims parts of reservation. Second is the right to self-governance and empowerment, including the rights to use their own justice system, conflict resolution institutions, and peace-building processes. Right to participate in decision-making, determine and decide priorities for them. Third is the social justice and human rights, including state provision of equal protection, rights during conflict, equal opportunity and treatment, basic services, and guarantee rights of women and children and youth. Last is the cultural integrity, including the rights of the state, protection of indigenous culture, traditions, and institution, right to control and establish their own educational system, community and intellectual rights, religious, cultural sites, and ceremonies, indigenous knowledge systems or practices, and to develop their own science and technologies, access to biological and genetic resources, and sustainable agro-technical development. In general, the IPRA grants ownership rights to a territory composing of the area or areas that they can claim as their ancestral domains, as well as the natural resources within the domain, and also grants rights to self-governance, social justice, and human rights, and the right to cultural integrity. All in all, with the indigenous people, diverse culture, and practices, Philippines become more colorful and vibrant. Although they speak different languages, dialects, uphold different beliefs and ideologies, we all share common aspiration for human rights.